For couples in a long-term relationship who feel they've left their honeymoon period behind, how would you suggest they try to revive the passion?
I think the sex doctor is particularly helpful with this because there's lots that you can do in that situation. And I've actually included lots of different techniques which suit different types of couples' personalities. Like, for instance, there's a sex contract that you can do. And this is a tool that sex therapists use all the time. And it actually involves making an agreement between the two of you with what you will and won't do in bed. And it particularly works with things like mismatched libidos. Say one wants sex more than the other. Well, you come up with an agreement of how many times you are prepared to have sex. It might include how long you're prepared to have sex, what you're going to do during that period. You both sign it, and it's actually a written agreement. Now, for some people, that works really, really well. They like to have everything written down. They like to know what they're up for. And if you're not that keen on sex and you're feeling a bit put upon by your partner, actually having a time period on it really works, because you're thinking, well, okay, I only have to have sex for 10 minutes 3 times a week. You're happy doing that. They're happy doing that. And once you remove the guilt and the pressure, often then they get into sex again, and it becomes a pleasurable activity rather than a chore. So that works for couples who are sort of quite into things like that. Then there are other quite spontaneous things that you can do. There's a little bit about tantric sex. There's stuff like what would happen if I went to a sex therapist, what would be the standard technique they'd show me. So there's all sorts of ways to get you sort of thinking like a shrink.
How would you advise a woman who has started her first relationship for a long time and who has perhaps lost confidence in the bedroom?
I think when you come out of a relationship and you're going into another one, you do feel a bit vulnerable, especially if it's been a long time, because your body might have changed. But the thing is, unless you're planning on dating somebody who still works shift at McDonald's, the chances are their body's gone a little bit south as well. So you need to get over that. Also, I think take baby steps. Like when you often get with your friends, or get out there and find somebody and almost jump into bed to get this person out of your system. I totally disagree with that. I think that what you should do is sort of work up to having full sex. Have nights where you actually sleep together, and then you're just kissing, and then there's maybe some foreplay. Because I think the thing that people are most scared of is actually intercourse and penetration, because he's worried, everything could go wrong, because that of course relies on an erection. She's worried. Often people get quite emotional. You're all worried about, should we be like a show pony and bring out all your tricks all at once? No, I think I'm actually an advocate of getting it over and done with, having a bit of a laugh about it, and then exploring, each other after that. But don't build it up to be this big thing that has to be this marathon session with swinging from chandeliers, because it's not going to be like that.